When you hear the words dire wolf, your mind might jump to fantasy stories, but let me tell you, these incredible animals were very real. The dire wolf, whose scientific name is Canis dirus, was a powerful canine that roamed the vast landscapes of North and South America during the Pleistocene epoch. This was the Ice Age, a time of giant mammals and dramatic changing climates. These wolves were not just a fleeting part of history, they were a dominant predator for an incredibly long time, living for over 1 million years before they finally vanished from the planet around 10,000 years ago. Their story is a fascinating window into a lost world filled with magnificent and formidable creatures. Now let's talk size, because that's where a lot of the myths come from. While not as gigantic as some fictional portrayals suggest, the dire wolf was certainly a beast to be reckoned with. Imagine a modern gray wolf, and then make it about 25% larger and heavier. Dire wolves were stockier and more robustly built, with bone structures that suggest immense power rather than pure speed. This wasn't a sleek, nimble runner like its gray wolf cousin. Instead, it was a heavy-duty predator, built like a tank to take on the massive prey that shared its environment. Its skull was broader, and its teeth were larger and stronger, perfect for its specialized diet. The key differences between the dire wolf and the gray wolf we know today really highlight how each was adapted to its own time. The gray wolf is built for endurance and agility, capable of chasing down faster prey like deer and elk over long distances. The dire wolf, on the other hand, was all about brute force. Its sturdier frame and powerful jaws were designed for ambushing and overpowering large, slow-moving animals. Think of it as the difference between a long-distance runner and a heavyweight wrestler. This physical distinction is crucial because it ultimately played a major role in why one species survived the end of the Ice Age, while the others sadly did not. The best place on Earth to learn about these amazing animals is the La Brea Tar Pits in Los Angeles, California. It's an unbelievable treasure trove of fossils. Over thousands of years, sticky natural asphalt seeped up from the ground, creating deadly traps for countless animals. Predators like dire wolves would be drawn in by the sight of a trapped herbivore, only to get stuck themselves. Because of this, scientists have unearthed the skeletons of more than 4,000 individual dire wolves from these pits alone. This incredible collection has given us an unparalleled look into their lives, their health, and even how they hunted, making them one of the most well-understood prehistoric predators. So what did a dire wolf eat? With its powerful build and formidable teeth, it was a hypercarnivore, meaning its diet was composed of more than 70% meat. These wolves were not picky eaters. They went after the biggest game available during the Pleistocene. Their primary food sources were the megafauna, the giant animals of the Ice Age. We're talking about huge prey like ancient bison, wild horses, ground sloths that could be as large as bears, and even young or vulnerable mammoths and mastodons. Their teeth were so strong that many scientists believe they were capable of crushing bone, allowing them to get every last bit of nutrition by eating the marrow inside. Just like modern wolves, dire wolves were social animals that lived and hunted in packs. The evidence for this comes directly from the fossil record, especially at places like the La Brea Tar Pits. Finding so many dire wolves trapped together alongside the remains of a single large prey animal, like a mastodon, suggests a group effort. A single wolf, even one as powerful as a dire wolf, would have had a very difficult time taking down a fully grown giant sloth or bison. But a coordinated pack could work together to isolate, surround, and overwhelm these massive herbivores. This pack hunting strategy made them one of the most successful and feared predators of their time. The world of the dire wolf was crowded with other impressive and dangerous animals. They shared their territory with a whole cast of Ice Age giants. Imagine a landscape where you could see herds of woolly mammoths, lumbering mastodons, and the truly bizarre stag moose with its complex antlers. These were the prey animals, but the dire wolf also had to contend with fierce competition. They weren't the only major predator on the block. They had to fight for every meal against rivals that were just as, if not more, formidable. Life for a dire wolf was a constant struggle for survival in a world of titans. The dire wolf's main competitors were two other legendary predators, the saber-toothed cat, Smilodon fatalis, and the massive American lion, which was much larger than any lion alive today. Fossils of all three of these apex predators are often found together, tangled in the same tar pits, which tells us they were all hunting the same animals in the same places. You can just picture the intense standoffs that must have happened over a fresh kill. A pack of dire wolves might have been able to drive off a lone saber-toothed cat, but it would have been a risky and violent encounter. This constant competition for resources shaped the dire wolf's very existence. Around 10,000 years ago, after more than 1,000,000 years of success, the dire wolf vanished. But why? This is one of the great mysteries of the Ice Age, but scientists have some compelling theories. The leading idea is tied directly to climate change and the disappearance of their food source. As the last ice age came to an end, the planet warmed up. This environmental shift led to the extinction of most of the large megafauna that the dire wolf depended on. The giant sloths, mastodons, and ancient horses disappeared, and the dire wolf's specialized menu vanished along with them. With their slow, lumbering prey gone, dire wolves were at a serious disadvantage. The animals that survived and thrived in the new, warmer world were smaller, faster, and more agile, like modern deer and elk. The dire wolf, with its heavy, robust body built for power, simply wasn't fast enough to consistently catch these nimbler creatures. It was a specialist predator that found itself in a world where its specialty was no longer needed. It couldn't adapt quickly enough to the rapid changes happening all around it. The very traits that had made it so successful for so long ultimately became its downfall in a changing world. This is where the gray wolf enters the picture as a major competitor. While the dire wolf struggled, the leaner, faster gray wolf was perfectly suited for hunting the new kinds of prey that were flourishing. Gray wolves were generalists, able to adapt their diet and hunting style more easily. They outcompeted the dire wolves for the remaining food, pushing the already struggling species closer to the edge. It's a classic story of survival of the fittest, or in this case, the most adaptable. The dire wolf was a relic of an older world, and it was ultimately replaced by a more modern and versatile canine predator. Some scientists also wonder if early humans played a role in the dire wolf's extinction. Humans were skilled hunters who also targeted the large megafauna. It's possible that competition from human hunting parties further reduced the available prey for dire wolves, accelerating their decline. While it's unlikely that humans hunted dire wolves directly in large numbers, by competing for the same food, they added another layer of pressure. The extinction of the dire wolf was likely caused by a perfect storm of climate change, the loss of its prey, and competition from both gray wolves and humans. Even though the real dire wolf is long gone, its legend lives on, partly thanks to its prominent role in popular culture. But this fascination has also led to a unique and ambitious breeding project. Known as the Dire Wolf Project, it was started by the American Alsatian Breeders Association. The goal is not to bring the actual dire wolf back from extinction. That would require intact DNA, which we don't have. Instead, the project aims to create a new breed of domestic dog that captures the look and supposed temperament of the ancient dire wolf. It's an attempt to create a living tribute to this magnificent prehistoric animal. To achieve this, breeders are selectively crossing several large dog breeds, such as the Alaskan Malamute, German Shepherd, and Great Pyrenees. They are carefully choosing dogs that have wolf-like features, a large and heavy-boned build, and a calm, companionable temperament. The result is a dog called the American Alsatian. These dogs are beautiful and impressive, with a strong resemblance to the powerful canines of the Ice Age. However, it's absolutely essential to remember that these are modern domestic dogs. They share no direct genetic link to the extinct Canis dirus and are in essence a work of living art inspired by the past. The project highlights our deep and enduring fascination with the prehistoric world. The dire wolf represents a wildness and power that has been lost to time. By trying to recreate its appearance, people are trying to connect with that ancient past. They want a large, loyal dog that looks like a wolf but has the gentle nature of a companion animal. The Dire Wolf Project is a testament to how the stories of these extinct animals continue to capture our imagination, inspiring us to bring a small piece of their legacy into our modern lives, even if it's only in appearance. In the end, the story of the dire wolf is a powerful lesson in evolution and extinction. It was a supremely successful predator, perfectly adapted to its environment for an immense stretch of time. But when that environment changed, it couldn't keep up. Today, as we study its fossils and marvel at its strength, we are reminded of the fragility of life and how even the mightiest of creatures can disappear. The dire wolf may be gone, but through science and even modern dog breeding, its incredible story continues to be told, ensuring that this Ice Age icon will never be truly forgotten.